Factoring trinomials trial and error method. When the coefficient of the first term of a trinomial is not a perfect square, the number of possible binomial factors increases. There's no straightforward method to solve other than listing all the possibilities of the first and last term, then check through trial and error for combinations that will make the middle term work out. So you can list these. I think a table is a great way to organize our list of factors. So let's say, for example, we're given a problem like 3x squared minus 4x minus 7. And we could look for our easier methods of factoring. We could look for traditional sum and product. We could look for perfect square trinomials, GCF. But none of those methods are really going to be helpful. So we're going to need to look at all the possible factors of the first and last term and then see which combinations will make the middle term come out when we multiply. So we want to look at the factors of 3x squared, which have to be either 3x and x, not a lot of different combinations for that, and negative 7. So negative 7 I can multiply with negative 1 and positive 7, or negative 7 and positive 1. So I have some different combinations to try on that one, and then we could FOIL these out or multiply them out and see which combinations work. So a table, super helpful in this case. So if I list the factors of 3x squared, factors of the first term, 3x and x, not sure which order they come in, but have to be those two factors. Factors of negative 7 can be negative 1 and positive 7, or I have the possibility that's a positive 1 and a negative 7. Then I want to set up my different combinations. Then I'm going to try the outside and inside. I can do all of FOIL, but since I listed all the factors of the first, all the factors of the last, the F and the L part of FOIL are going to come out fine. So I'm really only concerned now about checking the outer and inner products to make sure they come out to be this middle term. So if I write these as binomials times a binomial, 3x and x and negative 1 and 7, and if I list my factors with maybe the 3x goes with the positive 7, maybe it doesn't go with the negative 1, or my combinations, let's try it with the positive 1 and negative 7, and if the 3x doesn't go with the plus 1, maybe the 3x goes with the minus 7. So I have 4 possible combinations to try. And then I just want to check the outside and inside when I multiply these to find out which one of these has the middle term that comes out to be negative 4x. So if I do outside 3x times 7x and negative 1 times x, I get 21x and negative 1. And those add up to 20x. Well, I'm looking for ones that add up to negative 4x. So my first guess did not work. So let's try, maybe the 3x didn't go with negative 1, maybe the 3x went with positive 7. Well, if I do outside x times 7 is 7x, negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x, and 7x plus negative 3x add up to 4x. Very close, right number, just the wrong sign. So that one didn't work. So it doesn't look like negative 1 and positive 7 work, so maybe it's positive 1, negative 7. Let's try the outside on this one. 3x and negative 7 add up to negative 21x. I'll multiply to negative 21x. And then inside 1 times x, 1x, and those add up to negative 20x. That does not match the middle term either. So now I'm down to my last combination. If I do outside, I get negative 7x. Inside, I get 3x. And yay, it finally came out. I got negative 4x. That matches my middle term. So this is a lot of work, so you should celebrate when you get that right answer. That is definitely worth celebrating. So I got x plus 1 times 3x minus 7. And as you get better with doing these, as you do a few, your guesses will get better. And hopefully you'll come up with it on the first or second try. But in this one, we got it on the 4th combination, the last try. All right, let's look at a new one. Oh, and we can always check with all of FOIL, first, outside, inside, last, multiplier, binomial. We do get our original problem. All right, let's try a new example. We have 4x plus 13x plus 3. So I want to list all the factors of 4x squared. It can be 4x and x and 2x and 2x. And all my possible factors of positive 3 are 1 and 3. And much like we did with traditional sum and product factoring, we know if we multiply to positive and add up to positive, we really only have to look at positive combinations. So I'm going to make my table. I'm going to list all my factors of the first term. I'm going to list my factors of the last term. Then I'm going to list my combinations as binomials times binomials. Then I just need to go through and check and see, checking the outer and inner products, as to which one has a combination that adds up to 13x. So if I do outside, 2x times 1 is 2x, inside is 6x, and 2x plus 6x add up to 8x. And in this case, switching 2x's don't really make sense. 2x and 2x is going to give you the same combination and the same outcome, so not really a unique try on that one. But on most of them, when you have two different numbers there, you want to try all the combinations. All right, so now my 2x's didn't work out at all, so maybe 4x and x will. Multiply the outside, 4x times 1 is 4x, inside is 3x, and that adds up to 7x. That does not match the middle term. So once again, I'm down to my last shot, so hopefully this one works. Outside, 4x times 3 is 12x. Inside 1 times x is 1x, and I got 13x, which is awesome. So that means this is the combination that works. 4x plus 1 times x plus 3. I already checked my first term, really. All my first times first, my last, but my outer and inner came out to be that middle term. And so now if I want to feel great about my answer, I could FOIL and check, and it works. All right, you guys try this one on your own. Pause the video here, come back and see how you did. All right, so we have factors of 2x squared have to be 2x and x. And then on my factors of -5 and 1, or -1 and 5, make my table, and I should come up with x plus 1 times 2x minus 5. Now, when we multiplied with traditional sum and product, if it multiplied a negative number and added up to a negative number, I knew I had two different signs, and I actually started to see a pattern that the larger would have to be negative in order for it to add up to be a negative. So that might even help you with your guessing to start with a positive 1 and -5, and maybe have a few less guesses, a little bit less work. But the more you do of these, the better you'll get on seeing the pattern, and it still worked out great. And some people are not really big into the table part, but you really need a method of being able to list all the factors of the first term, list all the factors of the last term, try your combinations until they work out. And if we did FOIL, FOIL worked great. Got back to the original problem of 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. So I hope that helps you guys using the trial and error method. It's really the method of last resort when your other methods don't work. And remember to always check your answers with factoring to make sure your binomials left. Make sure they will not factor any further. You're always looking for like GCF or difference of squares with binomials to try to keep factoring. Factor completely. Have a great day. OUT spells out.